Today is an ABC 17 Storm Track Weather Alert Day.
Welcome back to FM all hour long. We've been having this very honest conversation about motherhood. Destiny and Dina Landon and Merita Belas are still with us, and joining the conversation is somebody I've known for a long time, parenting expert and author of How to Have a Kid and a Life, a Survival Guide. Erica Suter is here. Thank you so much, Erica, for joining us. When you say parenting expert, can you be an expert at parenting?
Well, here's what I love about this panel. They all have different experiences, and they're sharing what works for them. And I love the idea that there's not a one-size-fits-all model for how to be a good parent. Right. And that's what I try to stress.
Yes. You know, I'll tell you, this entire time I was thinking, we're looking at this from the lens of a mother. And I said the next time we do this show, I want to do it from the perspective of a dad, as we see so many great dads in this audience as well. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't be the mother or the woman that I am without the stepfather who raised me. So it's a double-edged sword here, but from the perspective of women and our mental health, you say that we really need to do resets and do like a yearly checkup, if you will, on ourselves as parents.
Absolutely. I think that every year you should have an emotional check-in and ask yourself 6 basic questions. Number 1, am I nurturing my marriage or partnership? Because those relationships very much matter. Number 2, is my career headed in a good direction if you work? Number 3, do I have a supportive friend network to turn to? 4, do I feel good about myself? 5, do I nurture those passions and interests I had before I had kids? Number 6, do I have hobbies that have nothing to do with my children?
Well, the thing that when I read all of these tips, I thought, you know, of the Southern saying, when mama's happy, everybody's happy. And this was basically a how to be happy outside of the motherhood part of your life so that you can be present and happy with your children. Because I have a lot of people who talked about, you know, moms who, not just depression, but moms who seemed unhappy. And I can understand that, for sure.
I spent 5 years interviewing moms across this country for this book to find out what they loved, what they hated, what they wanted to change. And I came across a lot of really fascinating research. And the one that really struck me was that a mother's happiness, a mother's satisfaction with her life is more important to a child's social, emotional development than how much money she makes, whether she's a stay-at-home mom or a full-time working parent, or how much time she actually spends with her child. So the bottom line is your happiness matters. And we've been kind of told that it's all about the kids, what you feel doesn't matter, and that's not true. Our kids need to see us happy.
You know, Kiana, my executive producer, is always in my ear. She sent me a quote that one of her friends put up, and it says something to the effect of, I don't want my kids to always hear how resilient I was. I want them to know how happy I was. Because we're always talking about the things we had to overcome and the trials and tribulations, and our kids see it, but we also want to make sure that they see how happy our joy in this experience.
Whenever a mom or a dad tells me, you know, my happiness doesn't matter, it's all about my kids, and I say, well, do you want your kid to feel that way in 20 years? Do you want your kid not to be happy? Do you want them to not have things that make them feel fulfilled outside of family? So it's really important that we make the change so that our kids can see a different way of parenting.
I love that. Okay, we're almost out of time, so I got to put you on the hot seat. To tell the past or not, do you tell your child the past or... Miss Erica's like, no, ma'am. You say what?
Honestly, it depends on the child. Is it going to benefit that child to know about your past? You have to know your child, their maturity level. You have to use appropriate language and think about what it means to them and what it's going to result in.
I like that. Erica Suter, thank you so much. Listen, you can check out more of Erica's advice on navigating motherhood and parenthood in her book, How to Have a Kid and a Life, a Survival Guide. Everybody's in the audience going home with a copy of Erica's book. Wow. Listen, thank you so much, Destiny and Dina, Merita, all of our guests today, the great Donna Mills. Thank you so much, Cindy House, all of the moms who shared their mom tales. Go on social media, talk with us, let us know your tale. We'll check you out the next time.
grab an umbrella this evening. The ABC 17 Storm Track weather team has issued a weather alert day for the potential of damaging winds and hail. ABC 17's Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Jessica Hafner is tracking this system as it moves into mid-Missouri. Jessica, the rain is going to be on and off throughout the day.
Yeah, we're kind of seeing our first wave. Unfortunately, this is going to be a slow-moving system, so we're going to be tracking quite a bit of rainfall, at least 1 to 3 inches through tomorrow as this storm system works its way through. It's all ahead of a cold front that's going to be working through mid-Missouri by tomorrow and sliding off to our south. But before that, we're going to see rounds of showers and storms. That first round has not moved a whole lot since this morning. We are seeing that here moving across mid-Missouri. So we'll take a look at this here. I've got our future, I'll take our future track here in a minute, but we're looking at some of that steady rainfall across northern mid-Missouri. It's moving through the Moberly area right now, and it will be sliding in from the south and moving in across the southern portions of the area into this evening. So we'll go ahead and pause the radar here. We'll take a look at this into this afternoon. I am expecting this to continue sliding off to the southeast and filling in. Our severe potential will start picking up here as we head throughout the afternoon. We're going to see that picking up between around 2 and 3 for our northwestern counties, and then continuing to slide off to the south throughout the rest of tonight. So we'll be dealing with this for a while. It does look like the threat for severe weather will continue past midnight for some areas. So we'll take a look at our future track now. Here's what it looks like at 2 o'clock this afternoon. We'll start to see this first round wind down a little bit here as we head into the rest of this afternoon. Continuing to slide off to the southeast throughout this evening and spread in coverage. We're going to see temperatures climbing into the 80s throughout the day. The showers and storms will continue throughout much of tonight, and we'll hold on to that severe weather potential, becoming more widespread, likely after about midnight this evening into tomorrow morning. That rain will continue through tomorrow morning. We'll be dealing with heavy rainfall through the morning commute, so prepare for that as you head out the door tomorrow. Might want to give yourself just a little bit of extra time as those storms continue to slide off to the south. We'll take a look at our severe weather threats through the rest of today and tonight. Mainly it's going to be quarter-inch hail and possibly 60 to 70 mile-per-hour winds with some of these storms. Tornado threat is low, but not zero. And of course, we're going to be looking at the threat for potential flash flooding with some of these storms, especially in our western counties where it's been raining for a while this morning. Let's take a look at our rain tracker for the rest of today and into tonight. We're going to see anywhere from at least 1 to 2 inches of rain, possibly some higher amounts, especially across our western and southern counties into tomorrow morning. That's where we have a flood watch in effect for counties along Highway 65. We'll take a look at when all of this moves out with our extended future track and the 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
The man accused of making a bomb threat against a Columbia daycare is set to be in court today. The alleged threat was made back on May 17th against a daycare on the 2400 block of West Ash Street. Alexander Green is now charged with making a terrorist threat, endangering the welfare of a child, and harassment. He was arrested in Kansas last week and brought back to mid-Missouri this past weekend to face trial. And a pretrial conference is scheduled today for a Columbia psychologist charged with 2 counts of second-degree sodomy. These charges were brought against Kurt Bumby in 2019 after a possible victim came forward about events that happened in 2010 and 2011. The alleged victim was in middle school during the years of alleged incidents. As a psychologist, Bumby dealt with the rehabilitation of sexual offenders. He is currently out on bond. And as the CPS community continues to mourn, one of its own students and teachers came together for an emotional vigil for a Rockbridge educator last night. Hundreds of people gathered at the high school stadium to pay their respects to Michael Woods Jr. On Friday, 55-year-old Woods was found dead in a rest area bathroom off of I-24 in Tennessee. Investigators then identified his son, 30-year-old Mika McEllery, as the one responsible for the shooting. He is charged with 1 count of criminal homicide in the death of Woods. And last night at the vigil, his brother gave a speech and played a recording of Woods from graduation day.
And, that's what I try to bring to the table, man. That's what you're going to get from me, friends. Outgoingness, and I'm trying to uplift everybody. We all are made to uplift one another, and as long as the good Lord keep getting me up, I'm going to keep putting it out there, dog. I am going to give it to you.
And students say they will forever remember the impact Woods had on their lives. Now, 2 people are hurt after a crash in Pulaski County last night. According to the Missouri State Highway Patrol, it happened on Highway N 4 miles south of Dixon around 8:20 last night. Troopers say Ricky Massey was driving a motorcycle with Dakota Hall when he hit a deer in the roadway, causing the bike to skid more than 100 feet. Massey and Hall were both thrown from the bike. Massey was taken to Phelps Health with serious injuries, and Hall had moderate injuries. Troopers say neither were wearing a helmet at the time of the crash. In just the past hour, Boone Health held a ribbon cutting for its newly remodeled clinic in Centralia. ABC 17's Joshua Blount is live after attending the ceremony this morning. Joshua, what changes were made and how could this benefit the community?
Yeah, Kennedy, Boone Health has added a standalone lab draw clinic right here in this area. Well, excuse me, right here inside that door just behind me. They also enhanced their ambulance space and EMT living quarters. The Boone Health tells me the biggest benefit will come from the lab cutting down on wait times and travel. The lab draw clinic has all new equipment and is more than 300 square feet. Officials say the new location will save local patients not only a 30-minute drive, but also provide more timely results. As I also mentioned, the Centralia Boone Health Clinic also enhanced their ambulance and EMT living quarter space. Boone Health says since no work has been done over the years, they decided to upgrade the flooring and redid the layout. Now, Drew Wilkerson, Director of Laboratory EMS Emergency Department at Boone Health, says the project took about 3 months to complete and cost $230,000. Reporting live from Boone County, Joshua Blount, ABC 17 News.
All right, thanks, Josh. The clinic will be open Monday through Friday, and appointments are not required.
Coming up on ABC 17 News at noon, where the news comes first.
Funeral services for the victims of the deadly shooting at the elementary school in Uvalde, Texas started today. We'll tell you what members of the community are saying. And an explosion left hundreds of people without power overnight in Nebraska. We'll tell you how long the fire was burning for next.
When severe weather is the news,
we have been tracking thunderstorms.
We're all over it.
We have a tornado warning in effect.
Definitely want to be in your safe place.
As you can see behind me, the roof has completely collapsed.
Trust ABC 17 Storm Track weather.
In September, I stood on the tarmac when a young man made his return home, and when a family found the courage to welcome him one last time. When a family felt the pain and loss, I saw them embraced by friends, neighbors, and total strangers. In this challenging moment, I saw the best of who Missourians are. That's why I'm proud to be the governor of this great state.
Missouri has a choice: the D.C. way, full of politicians fussing and fighting, or the Missouri way, fixing problems. That's Dave Schatz. No fancy degree, just a lifetime of hard work, rescuing his family business, then putting his blue-collar know-how to work for us, balancing the budget, slashing income taxes, and making us the most pro-police, pro-life state in the nation. The choice is clear. Dave Schatz, blue-collar businessman, conservative results.
I'm Dave Schatz, and I approve this message.
Before the sun's up and after it sets, ABC 17 News keeps working for you, alerting you to breaking news and safety concerns in our area. Everything you need to know from the team you trust most. ABC 17 News, where the news comes first.
The demand for massage therapists is at an all-time high. That's why Massage Envy Columbia has partnered with Como Institute of Massage and Bodywork to pay up to 100% tuition for those selected. Visit massagepartnership.com or call Massage Envy Columbia to apply today.
A community is stronger when we support each other, and that's what Mid-Mo Biz Connection is all about. Connect with your favorite restaurants, check out activities your family can enjoy, preview upcoming events at our fantastic venues, and it's right at your fingertips. Just go to abc17news.com and click on Mid-Mo Biz right there at the top of the page, or scan the QR code on your screen with your phone. Mid-Mo Biz Connection, supporting local business, connecting you to what makes your life better.
I'm attorney Mike DePasquale. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, you need help now.
I had a broken arm after being run off the road.
You can hire my team of experienced lawyers right now with no upfront costs. We don't get paid unless we win your case.
I hired Mike and his team, and they got me $100,000.
In my firm, we never charge an upfront fee. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, don't wait. Call me now. I've got this.
Call 573-444-8888.
The demand for massage therapists is at an all-time high. That's why Massage Envy Columbia has partnered with Como Institute of Massage and Bodywork to pay up to 100% tuition for those selected. Visit massagepartnership.com or call Massage Envy Columbia to apply today.
ABC 17 storm track weather can be heard on Zimmer radio stations, like today's best country, Clear 99.
Nobody should ever have to go through this hardship, you know, and something that could have very well been avoided.
The first funeral for the students and teachers killed in Uvalde, Texas last week will be held today. The first of the visitation started yesterday for two 10-year-olds killed in the mass shooting. The two funeral homes in Uvalde, including the one across the street from the school, said they will cover all expenses as more services are set for today and into next week. Texas Governor Greg Abbott said that the community will slowly but eventually recover from this tragedy.
It is going to take time to heal the devastation that the families there have gone through and are going through. But be assured, we will not relent until Uvalde recovers.
And the Department of Justice has ordered an investigation into the actions of law enforcement that day and the calls made by the school district police chief. A bipartisan group of lawmakers are continuing negotiations today on Zoom over how to best respond to the recent string of deadly mass shootings. Lawmakers say the talks could yield a new set of federal gun laws. ABC 17's Ake Ejaki is on Washington with more.
A group of Senate Democrats and Republicans are meeting today on Zoom to continue negotiations on passing new gun laws in America. The renewed talks come after a deadly month of shootings, most notably the Buffalo supermarket shooting, where an allegedly racist gunman drove several hours to shoot and kill 10 black people, and the Uvalde Elementary School massacre that claimed the lives of 21 people, including 19 children.
That's the most important thing we could do, is just show that progress is possible and that the sky doesn't fall for Republicans if they support some of these common sense measures.
Some areas of focus and possible agreement among the group include expanding background checks on gun sales, which has been voted down in Congress multiple times. Red flag warnings, which would prevent someone from possessing a firearm if they have certain histories of concerning behavior. Also discussed funding for more mental health resources. Some Republicans, like Illinois Congressman Adam Kinzinger, an AR-15 owner, are ready to increase the age limit to purchase a firearm from 18.
I think that raising the age of gun purchase to 21 is a no-brainer.
But one gun owner who attended the recent NRA convention in Houston says while she's heartbroken over the mass shootings, she doesn't think any new laws could prevent them.
It's unnecessary and it's uncalled for, but we will never be able to stop it.
President Biden, following his trip to Uvalde, Texas, is calling on rational Republicans to act and pass common-sense gun laws.
I think there's a recognition in their part that we can't continue like this.
And in Canada, where they've already banned 1,500 assault-style weapons, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announcing legislation that would prevent the purchase, sale, or transfer of handguns anywhere in Canada. Trudeau going on to say they're capping the market for handguns. Ike Ejaki, ABC News, Washington.
President Joe Biden is set to meet with Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell today. It's their first meeting since the Senate confirmed Powell's second term. According to the White House, the leaders will talk about the U.S. and global economy, focusing on inflation. Earlier this month, the Fed hiked rates by 0.5 percentage point for the first time since year 2000. The U.S. Central Bank is signaling there could be even more aggressive rate hikes in months to come. Some recent indicators show inflation may have peaked at 40-year highs in March. But even with that glimmer of hope, experts say it could take some time before prices return to normal. And right now, 2 of Biden's top priorities are fighting that inflation and reducing gun violence. For our question of the day, we want to know which of those issues is more important to you. You can vote on the poll on our Facebook and Twitter pages, or you can also find it on our website at abc17news.com. And a fire at a chemical company in Omaha left thousands of people in the dark. The fire started just before 7 last night and was still burning until a few hours ago. Due to chemicals and propane bottles at the site, it was a bit tricky for firefighters to battle. The blaze forced evacuations in the nearby area, and the Omaha Public Power District says more than 2,500 nearby customers lost power. Most of the power has been restored and no one was hurt. The cause of the explosion is still under investigation.
I'm tracking some showers and a few thunderstorms right now and the potential for more strong storms late this afternoon into tonight. I'll have the latest hour-by-hour forecast and how much rain we can expect over the next few days. All that coming up.
ABC 17 News on the Go is sponsored by Star Heating and Air Conditioning, above the rest. When severe weather rolls in, the ABC 17 Storm Tracker rolls out, alerting you to live conditions with the all-new Storm Tracker 360 camera, tracking every angle so you know what to avoid before heading out. ABC 17 Storm Track Weather.
Attention to anyone with pain or numbness in your feet. You may have peripheral neuropathy, which affects millions of Americans. But don't worry, Renova Medical Center have new breakthrough treatment options that actually work. Our treatment options require no surgery, no medications, and have helped thousands of people. Best of all, it's covered by most major insurances, including Medicare. Call Renova Medical Center for a free consultation and get back on that path to a pain-free life.
Car crash? Zach's got your back.
I stand strong for Missouri.
Zach's got your back.
I'm here for you 24/7.
Zach's got your back.
I always fight for the maximum compensation you deserve.
Zach's got your back.
And after an accident, you don't pay me anything unless I win your case. That's my no-fee guarantee.
Zach's got your back.
Car crash? Call 444-4000. Zach's got your back.
League Wrestling in memory of Harley Race.
Get in the ring with us, it is over before it started.
World League Wrestling. Saturday nights at 6 on MyZoo TV and Sunday nights at 11 on ABC 17 KMIZ.
This segment of ABC 17 News is sponsored by the St. Louis Zoo. Animals always.
Many homeowners wonder why they have to clean their gutters every year. You either climb that ladder yourself or you pay someone else to do it. Honestly, your home should have been built with LeafGuard gutters. LeafGuard lets water in and keeps leaves and animals out. And they're guaranteed to never clog for as long as you own your home. This one-piece seamless system is fully customized for your home. And we've got 3 special offers for you. 1, a $99 install sale. Buy LeafGuard from us, we install it for only $99. 2, enjoy no monthly interest for 18 months until paid in full with your LeafGuard purchase. And 3, receive a $50 Visa gift card with your free in-home estimate. Damage from clogged gutters can cost you thousands. Never worry about clogged gutters again.
Call LeafGuard at 844-2-GUTTERS. That's 844-2-GUTTERS.
This is what justice looks like.
I was a faithful and loving husband, and I never did this.
Vaughn Crime Daily brings you the hottest cases and controversies from courtrooms nationwide. Plus, we'll have the latest from important local trials every day.
Michael was turned into kind of a villain.
From celebrity disputes to social justice issues.
Evidence. We need evidence.
They forced me into the equation.
We're the place to turn for expert analysis of the day's top legal and criminal stories.
Weekdays at 12:30 on ABC 17 KMIZ.
Be the first to know about breaking news with the ABC 17 News app.
Allow notifications in your phone settings and get the alert to stream live coverage from the scene. So no matter where you are, you'll know what's happening right now.
ABC 17 News. Get the app, get the alert.
You're watching ABC 17 News at noon on KMIZ, where the news comes first.
Are you tired of bland egg dishes that aren't all they're cracked up to be? Hi, I'm Erin Good, a Hy-Vee registered dietitian, and today I'll show you how to scramble up your egg routine with my recipe for tarragon and shallot egg salad sandwiches. To begin, I bought 8 hard-boiled eggs. You can cook your own eggs, but I love that you can buy them pre-cooked and hard-boiled at your local Hy-Vee. Chop your eggs with the slicer or by hand, and feel free to leave the yolks in. Even though egg yolks contain cholesterol, research shows they're still considered safe and heart healthy. 1 egg contains only 70 calories and provides 6 grams of high-quality protein. Next, in a medium bowl, combine the chopped eggs with 2/3 cup of thinly sliced celery, a half cup of Hy-Vee plain Greek yogurt, 2 tablespoons of finely chopped shallot, 2 tablespoons of chopped fresh tarragon, 1 tablespoon of Gustari Vita white wine vinegar, a half tablespoon of Dijon mustard, 1 teaspoon of lemon zest, a half teaspoon of salt, and a half teaspoon of black pepper. Cover the bowl and refrigerate for at least 2 hours. For the sandwiches, toast 4 slices of Hy-Vee Bakery's ancient grain bread. Add your desired fixings and spread on the egg salad mix. I like to top mine with radish and lettuce leaves. Now you're ready to serve up one excellent salad sandwich. Find this recipe on Hy-Vee.com. And for more tips to keep you and your family healthy, visit our new Hy-Vee Health page on Facebook or Instagram today.
Today's an ABC 17 Storm Track Weather Alert Day as I'm tracking the potential for some strong storms this afternoon into this evening. So far, things are pretty tame. Some light rain across our northern counties from Moberly up towards Macon. Now to the west, some areas that have seen almost 2 inches of rain so far just south of Kansas City. A little bit stronger storms, but nothing severe at this point as those storms slowly work their way into our western counties. I'm expecting this to redevelop into this afternoon. So all because we have a cold front that's centered across northern portions of the state that's going to slowly work its way south. And expecting this cluster of storms that's out to our west to move into parts of Saline County here after 1 o'clock, moving into Sweet Springs by 101 and Marshall by around 132. And there's that front. It's slowly going to work its way off to the southeast by tomorrow. But as it does, we'll continue to see redevelopment of showers and storms into this afternoon and evening. Some of those could be on the stronger side, especially once we get up to late this afternoon, early evening. And we'll continue the threat for some strong storms even past midnight tonight. So it's going to be a long one we'll be keeping an eye on. Here's what we can expect by 6 o'clock. Those storms really start to fire up once again out ahead of the front where we're starting to see very humid conditions get going. A lot of cloud cover today, but still enough energy to get storms to develop. As we go into the rest of tonight, showers and storms will continue to fill in along this front. Some of those will bring the potential for strong 60 to 70 mile per hour winds and some very heavy rainfall. Since this is moving so slowly, we could end up with at least 2 inches of rain in some spots through tomorrow. By the time we get to tomorrow afternoon, this front's going to settle to our south. We'll still hold on to the cloud cover and some spotty showers into the evening, but by Thursday, as this finally exits, we will see high pressure trying to move in. That's going to allow some cloud cover to move off to the east and finally diminish as we head into the end of the week. We'll get a break from rain mainly for most of Thursday and into Friday, giving us more sunshine and a nicer end to our week. We are at a level 2 out of 5 severe weather risk across all of mid-Missouri today. We're going to be looking at the threat for damaging winds and possibly some quarter-size hail in a few of those storms. That would be the main threat. Tornado threat is not 0, but it's low for this evening. As we head into the rest of this afternoon, temperatures are going to make it to the mid to upper 80s. Right now at the Lake of the Ozarks, it's 81 degrees, and our winds have been fairly strong today, up to around 25 to 30 miles per hour. Here's what we can expect for the rest of today into tonight. Temperatures holding in the 80s through early evening, and tonight as that front starts to work in with that rain, we're still saying warm and humid. Temperatures only falling into the upper 60s tonight. Here's how much rain we we can expect through the next couple of days, at least through Wednesday. 1 to 3 inches is likely. We'll have a break from rain at least until the weekend. Looks like we'll have a better shot of seeing some rain potentially Saturday night into Sunday. Here's my 7-day forecast. That weather alert day is going to continue up until early tomorrow morning and then expire as the severe threat goes down. Temperatures will be dropping down into the 70s behind the front, so it will be cooler. Finally comfortable by Thursday and Friday with some more sunshine. The weekend tracking temperatures near 80, but the rain chances will get higher towards Sunday.
And turning to the war in Ukraine, 2 Russian soldiers have been sentenced for war crimes in Ukraine. The 2 soldiers were both sentenced to 11.5 years for the shelling of civilian buildings. They both pleaded guilty to shelling infrastructure on the first day of the invasion. This is the second guilty verdict for the second war crimes trial since the invasion of Ukraine began. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says Russia is preventing the country from exporting millions of tons of grain. In his nightly address to Ukraine, Zelensky said this blockade could result in a famine in countries who depend on it. He went on to say that Russia is deliberately causing the problem so that all of Europe struggles and Ukraine doesn't earn money from its exports. And speaking of Europe, leaders in Europe have agreed to new sanctions on Russian oil. The agreement was decided at a summit yesterday focused on helping Ukraine with financial support. The union came to an agreement and plans to ban 90% of Russian oil imports by the end of this year. And we'll have another look at weather when we come back.
I just bought my pre-owned car online from Jim Butler. No active recalls, a realistic trial period, and they deliver it right to my driveway. But wait, how are you getting back to the dealership?
Jim Butler is the Chevy powerhouse.
The demand for licensed massage therapists is at an all-time high. That's why Massage Envy Columbia has partnered with Como Institute of Massage and Bodywork to offer this amazing opportunity. If you are selected and graduate from the program, Massage Envy Columbia will offer employment and pay up to 100% of your tuition to Como IMB. These spots are limited and classes start soon. Don't miss your chance to join a highly compensated profession. Visit massagepartnership.com or call Massage Envy Columbia to apply today.
Behind on rent or mortgage? The Missouri SAFER program keeps you safe in your home. SAFER is a federally funded program that provides emergency funds to pay your landlord or mortgage lender directly. Renters may also apply for utility payments. Learn more about SAFER and apply today at mohousingresources.com or call 833-541-1599. Apply today and stay safe in your home with Missouri SAFER.
You just delivered my car, but now you don't have a ride.
Don't worry, Mary. I just sold my truck to Jim Butler online and got top dollar.
Wow, you really got it figured out.
That's why Jim Butler is the Chevy powerhouse.
Got a story just waiting to be heard? Scan the QR code on your screen to share news tips, photos, and videos with ABC 17 News right now.
Who can you call when you need immediate help, any time of day or night? Always giving you and your family peace of mind.
AAA's legendary roadside assistance is a network with over 50,000 vehicles that respond to more than 32 million assistance calls every year.
If something happens and we're broken down, my family's not going to be stranded.
There are so many benefits to membership, and AAA is there if you're locked out of your car, need a tow, run out of gas, have a flat tire, or a dead battery.
You know, if you have one flat tire or one battery service, that membership fee pays for itself.
Wherever you go, wherever you are, you can trust AAA to be there when you need them.
Join today for less than $5 a month. Call now and we'll waive the admission fee. And as a special bonus, you'll receive a 1-year membership for an eligible family member. Don't wait another second. Call to join AAA right now.
This youth football coach couldn't get a win on the field.
The 2 teams that you played were the same age.
Our players weren't as seasoned as...
Maybe it had to do with the coaching.
Next, Judge Judy.
Today at 4 on ABC 17 KMIZ.
Now, Jess, I thought April showers were supposed to bring May flowers. We had a good Memorial Day weekend. Now it just looks like rain.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of rain the next couple of days. We have a flood watch in effect for some of our western counties, so we are definitely going to not need the sprinklers for the next few days. Temperatures in Jefferson City right now around 83. We're going to warm up into the mid-80s today. Seeing these showers and storms redeveloping into the afternoon as our weather alert day continues. That severe threat will continue into late tonight.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.
Straight ahead on this special edition of Law and Crime Daily, the trial of Kyle Rittenhouse. We begin with a closer look at opening statements.
The only person who killed anyone was the defendant, Kyle Rittenhouse.
Kyle Rittenhouse was the only person who shot somebody that evening. True. Mr. Rittenhouse was the only person who was chased by Joseph Rosenbaum.
Plus, the defendant himself takes the stand.
There were 3 people right there.
And impactful closing arguments.
I submit to you that no reasonable person would have done what the defendant did.
There are no winners in this case, but putting Kyle Rittenhouse down for something he was privileged to do will serve no legitimate purpose.
And later, the verdict that shocked the nation.
Has the jury reached a verdict as to each count of the information?
Yes, we have, Your Honor.
Law and Crime Daily covering court cases from coast to coast. Welcome, everyone, to this special edition of Law and Crime Daily. I'm your host, Brian Buckmeyer. We're taking a closer look at one of the most polarizing trials of the 21st century, when teenager Kyle Rittenhouse was charged in the deadly Kenosha riot shooting of 2020. Rittenhouse was charged with first-degree reckless homicide, intentional homicide, and attempted homicide, stemming from the August 2020 Kenosha, Wisconsin riots. Riots broke out across the city following the shooting of Jacob Blake, a black man who was shot by a white officer. Prosecutors say a then 17-year-old Rittenhouse drove to Kenosha from Illinois and shot 3 people during the protests. Joseph Rosenbaum and Anthony Huber were killed. Gade Gorskreutz was injured. Rittenhouse pleaded not guilty to all charges. Opening statements were presented in November 2021 as Assistant District Attorney William Binger laid out the violent events that unfolded the night of the shooting.
The evidence will show that the only person who killed anyone was the defendant, Kyle Rittenhouse. The evidence will show that hundreds of people were out on the street experiencing chaos and violence, and the only person who killed anyone was the defendant, Kyle Rittenhouse. We will show you videos of some of the events that night, of police, tear gas, rubber bullets, and yet the only person who killed anyone was the defendant.
The defense countered, saying Rittenhouse acted in self-defense the night of the deadly shootings.
You hear 4 shots in quick succession. The evidence will show that is Kyle firing at Mr. Rosenbaum as he's trying to take Kyle's weapon from him to use against him. He begins running down Sheridan Road. He's not taking his gun. He's not threatening anyone as he's running down Sheridan Road. What is at 60th? The evidence will show that is where law enforcement is, and that's where somebody would run to be protected from a mob that wants to kill him.
Following opening statements, the prosecution called its first witness, Dominic Black, to the stand. Black purchased the AR-15 weapon for Rittenhouse ahead of the shootings because the defendant had not yet turned 18.
He just said, I shot somebody, and then hung up right away. He was freaking out. He was really scared. He was pale, sweating a lot. You could tell he was just scared.
Did he say anything?
He wasn't really talking. He just said he had to do it. It was self-defense. People are trying to hurt him.
Did he ever say to you that someone was trying to attack him with a gun?
No.
Did he ever say to you that someone was trying to attack him with a knife?
No.
Did he ever say to you that anyone was trying to attack him with any sort of weapon?
No.
On cross, the defense attorney questioned Black about his decision to take weapons to the riots.
You wanted a gun?
Personally, for myself, yes.
You had no objection or voiced no objection to Kyle, your brother, having the gun, correct?
It wasn't a thought in my mind.
Well, he walks out of the house with an AR-15, and you don't say boo, correct?
I didn't say anything, correct?
And you have the ability to speak.
Yes.
If you wanted to object, you could have said something to Kyle, correct?
Yes, I could have.
And you didn't.
No.
Because you wanted him to have the gun for protection.
Not that reason exactly.